Do you regret being a mother?
Just don't be a mother for it. Even if you send them away, right, you'll be constantly worrying.
Right.
It's a dream that will never come true.
Okay.
I let them make decisions that they want. Thing is, I get very frustrated because it's not the decision I want. Whenever they get naughty, my go-to answer is, you want a naughty corner? Monster mommy, monster mommy. They'll be like, okay.
It's the go home, you get it.
Don't need go now, go the car can already.
I don't go home already.
On today's episode, we are talking about Mother's Day. Okay, and then of course we have to invite a mother.
Hi.
Okay, so Jayne here, right, is a very special person to me. Her video, right, where we did her house tour, right, was the last video I did for NOC. At the point in time where everybody is shitting on me, right, they actually helped me spoke up. They say that it was very nice working with me and all that. So I always remember the small gesture that they did. Yeah, so because today we are tasked to find a mother, right, I don't know a lot of mothers.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't know a lot of mothers. So I thought of her.
Thank you.
Before we dive right into the question, maybe you ask you some question, okay? So maybe you can describe how was your motherhood journey in, say, 3 words or less.
Not enough, like 3 words.
Not enough. Wow,
Actually, honestly, that's a very hard question.
Not enough lah.
Not enough.
I mean, that says a lot.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
I think a lot of mothers will agree with me.
Yeah.
Not enough.
You can't summarize it in 3 words.
I think it's more of like rewarding for sure.
Okay.
Self-discovery. You learn a lot of things about yourself. A new version of you.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you can get to that later on.
You got 2 kids, right? They are now
6 and 4.
6 and 4.
6 and 4.
Okay. So you think toddler tantrums or teen attitude, which one scares you more?
Teenage attitude.
Yeah, but you haven't experienced that, right?
I have a stepson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
You already experienced that.
yes, so I watched. So we met him when he was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So it's been like quite some. He's 22, 23 this year.
Yeah. Which one scarier?
Yeah, the teenage.
Oh, really?
Because you don't know what they're thinking, they already have a mind of their own. It's
Right.
not easy to get them to do the things that you want them to
Right.
do or influence them.
On that line, right, were you a rebellious teenager to your mom?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Very quiet.
You're quite quiet.
I think I'm quite quiet. I don't know.
I think most of us would think we are very
Yeah, we think lah.
We think.
I don't like ask the mother.
I think you ask the mother. I also think I'm very quiet last time when I was young.
You ask yourself, you sure?
Yeah,
Very
that's why.
quiet.
Actually, I think I'm quite quiet. But then when come to parents-teacher conference, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
What's your dream Mother's Day celebration?
Okay, so this is really very easy, and I think a lot of mothers would agree.
Yeah.
Just don't be a mother for a day.
Oh, send them lah. Send them
Okay.
No, even if you send them away, right? Not send them away, but like send them to school or to in-laws or whatever, you'll still like be thinking, okay, what are they going to eat? Are they giving your in-laws trouble?
Are they okay?
Yes, you'll be constantly worrying.
Right.
And it's something that you'll never get out of your head. It's a dream that will never come true.
Okay, say real. This one is not in this question. This is my question.
Okay.
Do you regret being a mother?
No.
Oh, really? No.
I don't
That's
think any mother
a
will
firm
regret.
answer.
I thought I would, but I didn't. Yeah.
Oh, so you initially didn't want any kids?
No, I initially wanted, but you see on like YouTube or IG or movies or whatever, it looks very fun, like so fun, have that bond, right? But they don't show you the hard part. Other than pregnancy, breastfeeding, all these are very difficult things that nobody talks about. After I've been through that, then you appreciate it a little bit more, and the 甜 is very sweet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
因为辛苦过才有甜。
Yes.
Can you tell us one of your best parenting hack? Slap your face.
Like, I don't know, their milk, you put a bit of whiskey or something.
Hey,
Sleep faster.
I heard during my time they do that.
There's a rumor last time.
I don't know, I
They
don't
say, my grandparents say like last time the milk we put a bit of alcohol so they sleep faster, the baby. And then they don't cry. I don't know.
Don't try it.
Don't try.
Yeah, please don't try it. Whenever they get naughty, my go-to answer is, you want a naughty corner? Then back off, ready,
I can
back off.
understand. It's the go home, you get it.
Yes.
That always kills me, bro.
Yeah.
Don't need go now, go the car can already.
I don't go home already.
The first story is, Dear Mommy, thank you for your unconditional love. Words cannot describe how much you mean to me and how much I love you. I was rebellious during my teenage days and my mom always believed and support me to make me feel that I have someone to reach out to. Many times my school teacher requested my mom to come down and my mom will always be the one who trusts me and have never once put the blame on me. The turning point is when my PSLE results released, where my points can only enter to NT, normal technical. My mom went to appeal if I can go to normal acad, where I just need one more point to enter. The principal refused to help me and tell my mom that there is no reason for her to do that. When we reached home, she said, it's okay. If you don't do well in studies, me and Papa will help you open a small hawker shop for you. My family are not rich with this promise, but she still consoled me by telling me this. I teared and I told myself I have to do well in life. From Sec 1 onwards, my results were very good and I even got the offer to promote to normal acad after Sec 1 exams, but I rejected the offer. I still take the IT steps to prove to everyone it's not the end, and now I am a degree graduate and is at a very good place now. Thank you, Mommy, for trusting me so I can be at where I am today. For your information, my siblings' results are very good and they are express students. I am often looked down by my relatives and always tell me unkind words to my mom, saying I am a waste of my parents' money and I should not be born to bring my family down. So I used to hate Chinese New Year.
Poor thing.
Oh, that's harsh. Does your kids all do well in school?
I mean, they're in preschool.
Yeah.
So there's no exams or tests. But if I were to say academically, I mean, Liam is the one who's very smart. He's like, do homework, no need to teach one. He
Responsible.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Mommy, I got homework today. Like, he's very
I will never say that. Impossible.
Now only lah.
Now only.
10 years later, I tell you again.
Okay.
Maybe different already.
Okay, 10 years later we invite you. Okay. Do you like kind parenting or gentle parenting or like
old parenting.
or the cane one?
You want to guess which kind am I?
The 打是疼
I think you are
是爱
outside gentle parenting, at home you're
I don't know.
I feel like you will beat
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. It sounds very
But to be honest, I think I always believe spare the rod.
spoil the
Spoil
kid.
the
Yeah,
child.
spoil the child. I believe that lah.
Right.
I believe that, but I don't know nowadays the new generation how they treat their kids.
So you all believe that I will Taiwan? Eh, why like that?
I don't know. I don't believe.
No,
I think you are gentle.
Okay, I believe like that's the norm,
Actually,
the way that
maybe.
it should be.
maybe she's the good cop.
Maybe you are
Maybe your husband be the
Sorry, I got no time for gentle parenting. I'm just too tired for that.
Right.
It's just have to coax and coax. It's just too much. But I don't really beat also, unless like they do something very, very bad.
Okay.
Like which is probably very rare. But a lot of yelling and shouting at home. That is enough to set them off to like, okay, mommy.
They were scared lah.
Yeah,
At least they were
Angry
scared.
already.
yeah, so they have a version, they call that the monster mommy. So they'll be like, monster mommy, monster mommy. They'll be like, okay.
Okay, then what's your husband's nickname?
Actually, most of the time he's the good cop.
Only the ATM machine lah, buy toy for them, buy
Yes.
iPhone for them.
Correct.
Okay, I don't have kids, but that's what my girlfriend say of me. So my girlfriend will scold the dog, right? Then I will come and sayang them, give them treats all that. They say you are just discrediting everything I do.
Yeah, nah, you're undoing everything now.
Yeah.
But do you believe in this good cop, bad cop parenting
Yes.
technique? You do believe in it?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
we were both on the same page about this. There has to be one good and one bad. Because if both good, then the kid will not learn. Then if both bad, then it's very toxic for the child. So we have to have that balance.
But do you all like interswap like, okay, today you...
Yes.
Oh, okay,
got lah,
okay.
got lah.
That sounds
So
healthy.
see who stepped on whose toes. So for example, if step on Vernon's toes, then I'll be the good cop lah. Because he'll be angry, right? Then I'll be like, okay, so I'll let him do whatever he needs to do, like discipline, whatever. Then when he's done, I will step in and like ask what happened. So I'll try to mediate the situation. So we do it vice versa.
In this context of this story, will you be very afraid of your child's future when they get back their results? If they do not as expected?
I feel yes, academics are very important. But as I have been going through life, I feel that it's not the be all and all. I'll do my best to try to help them, but if they can't, then there's nothing much I can do. Maybe they're just not born to go that route. Maybe something else is for them. For me, I feel they must be happy. That's the most important thing. They must be healthy. I think that's the two things I want them
The core
to.
lah.
Yeah.
Right.
And don't do anything illegal also.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I ask for.
Your second youngest is entering primary school soon, right?
Yes, next year.
Then it should be a very stressful period for
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
choosing
yeah.
the right primary school. What is the process now, actually?
So there's like different phases like 2A, 2B, 2C, so on and so forth. So like priority goes to, let's say you're a teacher in the school, your priority goes to you. Or if you have a sibling currently in that school, priority goes to you. Or a location, like distance-wise, like 1 click, you get priority, 2 click, you get priority. Yeah, then after that, whatever that's left, you are like the 2C lah.
Getting your second to the best primary school, is that your priority? Or like, as long as he's like, okay, he likes the place, or like near your place, easy to take care, easy to commute?
I'm not so much for the best, but I'm all for convenience lah. So whatever that works, I'm not so hard out on that lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you a very sensitive question lah. Do you think, right, that placing your child in an elite school or a neighborhood school will play a very big difference?
No.
No.
No. I mean, okay, if I have a choice, yes, I would put him in an elite school.
Right.
For
a
sure.
better head start.
Yeah.
But if let's say there's no choice, okay lah, neighborhood school is fine because I was from a neighborhood school. I think I turned out okay lah.
Most of
I
us.
think so
Most of
lah,
us,
right?
most of us,
Yeah, I mean we're all very successful.
Yeah.
So I think it's more about the upbringing, like how close your parents are to you.
I think the greatest concern for mothers when they go primary school or go school is like they get bullied. I think and like are they doing okay? You are at work, but you're
Yeah.
constantly thinking about your child.
Yeah, that's also my concern. Like recently, there were a couple of videos that were online about I think it's primary school or secondary school. Yeah, the boys were being bullied. I watched the video.
The bullied one.
Yeah, maybe very silly, but I actually cried because I really felt for the boy. And I really felt for the mother also. It's a constant worry that all mothers, dads even will have.
Then will you encourage your child to fight back if they are being bullied?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
Alright.
I will. To stop. I mean, to stop it. If it comes to that point, then yes.
Yeah, actually I would also because if not, he's just going to get like stepped over all
Yes,
the time,
yes,
all his life.
yes.
Not take that power and go bully other people.
Yes,
That's
of
messed
course,
up lah.
of course,
Yeah.
yes.
But it's always good that you're gonna put like your second and your youngest together so they can take care of each other.
Yeah, actually, in fact, I think that my youngest will take care of.
Oh, is it?
He is very fierce. Like we go to playground, so I will observe them, right? So the first one, Liam will always not say get bullied, but like stash his toys. Then he be like totally
stunned lah,
okay.
don't know
Yeah,
what
he
to
just like don't want to say nothing come out of the mouth one. But with the small one, like people take it right, he's like, hey, why you take my things?
Wow,
He's very fierce.
Okay.
Yeah, or sometimes there was once I think they went to the playground, they were playing, then somebody came and didn't play very nicely. Then my youngest one like don't know how to react, so he came to me, Mommy, that boy very naughty, And then I was like, oh, what happened? Then he tell me. So he knows how to express himself this way.
Okay.
So that's why I feel that the second one will protect me.
Right.
So this one comes from Monster Mommy.
Whoops.
Then how do you deal with like comparison? If people say, oh, your younger child is better than your older child or all that, how will you deal with it?
Actually, I have not encountered that before.
Okay.
I wouldn't also to other people. It's just not very nice in a way. If I were to encounter, I would just brush it off. And also depends on the context. If my kids were in that, then I'd be very upset lah.
G turned out very well.
Yes.
I mean, despite all the challenges that was thrown, I know how it feels right when the whole school or your principal tell you you will never amount to anything because that was said to me also.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it feels nice when you prove them wrong.
Correct.
But my principal not alive to see it.
I think the greatest takeaway for this story is it just shows like how far a mother's support can go. Since the mom support him or her since secondary school or primary school, after PSLA, it resonated in him all the way until he working in the working force now.
I think also as a kid, they might not fully appreciate this support until they are grown up. I think same for us. Like when my mom give me all the scolding or all the advice when I was young, it all sounds like bullshit.
Same.
Until I had this age, I'm like, damn it.
You listen to your mother, right?
Yeah, I should have listened. But I think this is a vicious cycle. It is a vicious
That's why
cycle.
Jay Chou sing the song.
Okay.
Next question by Weird Like Retro 8586. What's that 4D number, is it?
Very
Like
specific.
Reddit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
My mom is the absolute master of the thumbs up reply to text messages. Also awkwardly silent on phone calls and sometimes just changes the subject instead of acknowledging what I've said. I brought it up with her once and she basically said, I am the way I am. And then borderline stopped talking to me entirely. It's weird when you grow up and realize that your normal family dynamic is completely socially unhealthy. It's rude, hurtful, and relationship damaging to not acknowledge someone trying to talk to you. The question here is, how do I bring it up to your parents? Like you feel like there's a communication breakdown, and then you express to your parents already. Then you realize that they're not listening to you.
He or she needs to understand that their parents and us, we come from a very different generation.
Correct.
So we cannot expect them to communicate the way we do. We are very open, we are very expressive, but they are not. They are very traditional. They come from the era. I mean, yes, I understand it's rude. If I'm talking to you and you don't, I just like that. It's rude. Yeah, right? But they have to meet somewhere in between. And the fact that the mother acknowledges and thumbs up, I think is already a very good step. Because she didn't have technology in the days. So she's trying to bridge that gap. So I would say give her a bit more time. Spend more time with her using technology, like teach her how to use TikTok, I don't know, whatever that connects the both of you. So that she's more open and she can, learn all this new stuff all over.
Because I think some parents are not great at verbal
Expressing
Yes,
verbal
yes.
affection. So their way is for me, Actions, true actions. Like what Jane said, like there's a middle ground that you guys have to be in between.
Yeah.
I don't try to change them lah. For example, I got this relative, this uncle lah. Everything he say is so sexist and racist. Right? If he's an influencer, he cannot cancel day one. I see nobody calling him out. Like nobody say anything. So I got asked by my dad why everybody just let him talk the way he did. Their answer is all the same. It's like he's so old already. Why bother to change him? He's going to be like that already. Just let me lah.
It was okay last
Yeah,
time.
my dad also every time send me those good morning message. What does the good morning message mean?
A picture lah.
A picture.
The very boomer got sticker.
I don't know why. After he retired, right, then this message coming.
More time.
Before that, he was quite cool one. Then I don't know why the good morning message. Did I go say, hey, this is useless messages or irritating? I don't say that lah. So that's his way of expressing like, hey, I'm thinking of you.
Correct.
I'm just thinking who's the one that made
Started it,
this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's the one that started all this good morning with the flowers and the God bless you? All that
Do your parents send you good morning messages?
Have. My uncle relative all use the same sticker. I don't know who's the one sending it to them.
Who started it?
Yeah, I don't know who's the one that started it.
Sometimes my dad send me those 45-minute WhatsApp video. Then
Is it like about spam, about scams?
No, it's like what meditation or whatever. Then I was like, or some Buddhist philosophy or what. Then I was like,
There's someone out there doing all this. Are you afraid of that day when you're going to like do this kind
good
of
morning
thing?
message.
I mean, like to us now, we have Telegram, WhatsApp, and then we usually send like Telebubble. Kids start to grow up. Telebubble will be this kind of good
Maybe.
morning
Yes.
messages to them really.
For sure lah, there was always something new. So I will try my best to keep up.
Be more hip lah.
Yeah, I'll try.
Next question by the names are getting harder. A glitter finger. Growing up, my parents expected me to be a grown-up at a young age. They never taught me how to do a lot of things that most kids need to know. Now that I'm grown up, they get mad at me for not knowing how to do something or take credit for something they didn't teach me how to do, but I learned on my own. My mom told me she didn't teach me because I didn't want to learn. A child didn't want to learn? Yeah, right. You just didn't make the effort to teach me, then blame me. Same with braces. She said they never put braces on me because she asked me when I was 10 if I wanted them and I said no. What kind of 10-year-old would say yes? You're the parent. You should have made the choice for my health.
Wow, I think this one harshly. You're blaming everything to your parents.
I can understand where this person is coming from because who will ask a 10-year-old for braces? Like, shouldn't the parent make that decision?
Correct.
You should know that 10-year-old is not a mature age to make this kind of informed
decision.
medical decision.
It could be these parents is gentle parenting.
Yes, I was about to say.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Gentle parenting, like oh, 你不要就不要咯，不要我不要逼你。It could be like that also. That's why I say spoil the child. The child seems pretty spoiled now, right? I mean, blaming like retroactively blaming for things that. Yeah.
I can kind of understand where this person is coming from because there's this line that says the parent will ask her to teach them like how to do certain things. I think most people out there can relate. Has anybody taught their mom how to use the computer before?
Oh shit! No.
Okay, I tell you, I never lost so much patience in like a short span of time before.
It's a torture.
It's a torture.
Yeah.
But I don't know why when I explain it to other people of a certain age, like older, I'm okay. But it's just when with
Just
parents,
a mom.
right? It's or like mom or dad or uncle or whatever. It's just a bit harder.
You will have less threshold and your mask will be off, right, when you're dealing with people that are close.
Correct.
That's why it's like when your girlfriend drive, right, you cut your girlfriend. But if other people girlfriend drive, right,
Yeah, you're like, please be careful. Yeah. You turn, but your girlfriend like, walao, man, why like that?
you know how to drive out.
It's more comfortable.
Yeah, because it's more comfortable.
But how about you, Jane? Since you're a mom, at what age do you think your child is old enough to make certain decisions?
38. If I got a daughter, she only can have her first boyfriend at 31.
31?
Yeah.
And all the good guys gone already by then. Cannot lah. Slow a bit lah.
This is
Then you
nonsense
happy.
parenting.
That's why you don't child.
Yeah, that's why I don't
My
have.
friend, I got best friend 36. I didn't got no boyfriend.
How really?
Yeah, that's why lah. As in, she used to have, but like she has difficulty finding because like all the good guys are gone.
Right.
So lower a bit, lower a bit.
Lower bit.
29.
I think it depends on like the context and what kind of decisions we are talking about. So like actually even now I let them make decisions that they want. But then the thing is I get very frustrated
Ah.
because it's not the decision I want.
Wow, the face changed.
Oh, yeah, I saw a bit of the monster.
I saw the horn start coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's okay. So very simple example. Like let's say I want to eat lunch, and I ask her like, okay, what you want to eat for lunch? So in my head, right, actually I don't want to eat already. So I was like, okay, maybe they are at the age they're not capable to understand what is in this mall. So I'll say, okay, we have pasta, pizza, sandwich. You know, I give them options. I say, you choose all these four. Yeah, I want pizza. Then I'm like, oh, we got no time for pizza leh. Why did I say that? Then like, you know, regret. Yeah, then it's my fault lah. Then I get very frustrated, you know. So I realized like, actually this kind of thing I should just decide. I mean, they are free to decide, but I also can decide for them.
They can suggest, but you should decide.
Yes. These kind of small things, I let them, you know, decide if, when the time calls for it. But of course, major things like the school they want to go to, of course, these things I will not let them decide at this age lah, for sure. But if let's say we're talking about after secondary school, if they decide they want to go poly, or they want to go JC, or they want to work, I feel that at the age 16, they are old enough, more mature to, you know, understand. I mean, of course, we'll sit down and
have
talk
a discussion.
about the different options, like what is going to be down that road, and then let them make that choice ultimately.
On that note, when will you let them have girlfriend, for example?
Oh, never.
Wait, what age did you have your first boyfriend?
Yeah, my dad will watch that this one.
Okay, so we already know it's not correct age, right?
Yeah, very
Yeah.
young.
Did you have your first boyfriend at say like 14?
No lah, not 14.
16.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Okay, 15, 16.
Yeah, yes.
If your son at 15, 16 come back with your girlfriend, you can accept?
Leave the door open.
No. He come home, bring the girl into the room, lock the door.
No, cannot.
Hey, actually, I feel that one must.
Now
ask
still
one,
cannot.
Now still cannot.
Now still cannot.
Even
You go to your
21,
parents' house,
22, cannot lah.
Cannot.
Let's say he come home first, okay? Nobody at home. Mommy haven't come back. In the room. Then mommy come back. What now?
But got text mommy say I bring.
Never text mommy.
I bring girl come home.
Oh, then
Say I with friend doing project at home.
don't lie to yourself.
Technically can be a project.
I don't know what kind of project, but yeah. Okay. I think a bit hard, a bit tough.
Yeah, no.
You cannot lah.
No, I
But
can't.
what age then you start to? Okay, you can have a
To
girlfriend.
do projects? Or
No. Have a girlfriend. Have a girlfriend.
After secondary school, I suppose.
Okay.
Okay, at least poly lah.
Poly lah.
Yeah.
Then you can accept lah.
Yeah. Actually, no. With Ethan, he had his first girlfriend a bit younger.
Okay.
But like never bring home, go inside room that kind.
Ah.
So I can accept. I think that's okay.
Okay. But cannot like room then
no.
start
that's-
making out in front of you.
Nobody does
Now
that.
nobody lah.
What kind of relationship you have?
I just painting some scenario.
Okay.
Make it interesting.
Okay, understand. You do believe that you have created some sort of safe space for your kids to actually have this kind of small conversation on making decisions lah.
For this age, it's not so much about making decisions. The safe space is more about like them telling me things. Because I don't want them to feel like they cannot tell me anything. So we try to keep it like healthy and like open. So certain things that they do, try not to judge. I find out a bit more gentle parenting. But then if it becomes my limit, then no lah. But it's just for them to be comfortable. So next time if they have a girlfriend or boyfriend,
They will tell you lah.
yes, I rather them tell me that I find out.
So if you restrict too much, then that will happen ma. They will try to hide from you ma.
Exactly.
That's why you didn't set an age on when they can have a boyfriend and girlfriend lah.
Yeah, it's very hard to say. If I see they know to handle themselves, they know how to behave, then okay lah. I mean, yeah, that's fine. But if they are wild child that kind, then they go clubbing, that kind, then maybe, you know, I'll be a bit more cautious.
When they did something wrong, like your kids, they go to mommy first or daddy first?
Let me think. Did something wrong.
Oh, if you need to think, means should be daddy.
If you want like that.
Don't tell mommy.
Actually, there's no preference. They'll look at whoever's nearer to them.
Ah, okay lah.
That's good. That's
still,
good.
Still
Okay.
healthy.
That's
Still
still,
healthy.
Yeah.
that's for me is I don't dare to tell my daddy.
Same.
Yeah, cause my father was the more fierce figure in my household. Yeah, so I don't know about now how the parenting works, but last time it used to be like that lah. It's either the father more fierce or the mother more fierce. So you must see. Which one.
But I think now also as kids, right, their problem not like very complex lah.
Yeah.
Because last time I think when I 6, 7 years old, I broke a glass, right. I thought it's the end of my work. I thought I'm going
Same
to
ah, same.
prepare my funeral already.
Oh, same.
Then I still try to glue back the glass, hope that they don't notice and all that.
We
But
all go through that stage and we hide the cane, throw the cane out the window.
correct, but no, the thing is right, when I grow up, right, the glass break lah. What's the video?
Yeah.
What's the video?
Yeah,
Why?
correct.
Why was so scary?
Yeah.
But I think problems will get more complex as they age up.
Yes,
Like when they start to have relationship. We shall to go back to that question where I asked you about your sons, right? What if you have a daughter? Will the boyfriend question change a lot?
Confirm.
You ask my husband. My husband said, I'm going to prepare chastity belt.
Oh, wow.
Jail cell, cannot go until 30 years old. He has all his requirements ready.
For the daddy's girl
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
If there's a daughter lah.
So all your son is mommy's boy lah.
Yeah, and because like my husband's side, right, they are all boys. So he has all his cousins are all male. Like there's only one like niece. That's it, and the rest are all boys. So a girl is a rarity in the family.
Right.
Yeah, so to him it's very precious.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Are you all planning to have a girl? No. Factory closed.
Done. Oh, I'm done.
Factory 关了啊。
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh,
I'm
关了。
done. So done.
Okay, next question by Red. My mom has started saying I love you and I'm proud of you all of a sudden. I am a 25-year-old male, grew up never hearing those words from her, almost never hearing any words for her. She would be too glued to her book or iPad to even look at me. She never said she loved me, she never asked about my day, she never gave me hugs. Now all of a sudden, she's saying these things. Like why? It's extremely uncomfortable and I struggle saying I love you too. Like the words just don't feel genuine or real. The only thing I can think of is I'm starting my career and now that she has none of the responsibility, she wants to reap the rewards. Anyone else experience a sudden shift like this into adulthood?
Why she send you like that?
Wow.
Yeah,
She
very
said
sad
you
leh.
Harsh leh. I think maybe your mom, after reading so many books and seeing so many things on iPad, right, may come to a realization that maybe she should be a more expressive mother or what. And then she's trying, and then you are discrediting her, thinking that she's after your money.
Yeah.
I think that's harsh, man.
A lot of parents do struggle with this. I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. In Singapore, a lot of people still want to focus on their career first. So they might be prioritizing their career, but at the same time, they're still struggling to focus on their family. So once they realize that, okay, my career is done, like I can retire, I'm set, then now I'm focusing on my family. So they're taking steps one at a time. They're not doing two things simultaneously, which is very difficult. So I think that's why this guy suddenly feels like very weird. But actually, in the parents or the mom's eyes, it's like, okay, I'm done with my career. So now I can focus on my son. But then my son already 25 years old. You know what I mean? I think a lot of parents in Singapore, I feel like they struggle with this imbalance between career and parenting.
I also think Singaporeans in general struggle with words of affirmation. I think this fellow is grown up without any words of affirmation. So suddenly all this love that is coming,
he's still very lost.
He's not used to it.
It's very uncomfortable.
Parents show their love through like buy you food, go to a specific place, buy your favorite food. That's their way of saying I love you. They don't actually say I love you. They show it this way.
Yes.
Actually, I think I'm very fortunate to have both. So we still do I love you, good night, I love you.
Oh, really?
Like
Every
face to
night?
face, yeah, every night.
Wow.
Then we have like secret handshakes.
No,
But I think it's because she's not old.
Oh,
She's
Mid
74.
74.
No, like 1974.
Oh.
49, 50 this year. Yeah. So I don't think it's that big of an age gap. So we're very close.
I think that generation is a little bit more, I'll say, reserved in that sense, in expressing. I think this generation different.
Yeah, I think the new generation we will say more lah.
She is the new
Yeah,
generation.
you are the new generation.
Consider lah.
My younger one, we were just eating dinner. He suddenly stood up. He looked at me. Mommy, I love you very, 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 very much. Like,
That's the best thing you can hear.
Yeah, like wow, it really made my day. Like, you're the best mommy ever. But yeah, like he's 4 lah, so.
Then your husband
keep that in mind.
where's daddy's?
Yeah, so like, I still he feel imbalanced, right? Say daddy also.
I have another difficult question for you. Are you ready for the day when you say these words to your child, to your son, and they say, "Mommy, I so old already." Are you ready
Or like
for
bring
that
your
day?
kids to school and they say, don't kiss me, don't kiss me.
I've been mentally prepping every day. So I'll catch my son sometimes, I hold them, right? Next time, right, when mommy say I love you, right? Can you say back to me?
Oh, you must just keep doing
then I
it.
must keep drilling. Then I say, then if mommy want to hold your hand, right? Can you hold mommy's hand? Don't let go of mommy's hand. Okay. They say, I'll always hold your hand. Then I say, yeah, you say that now.
Sec 2, you bring him to school.
Correct. Then sometimes I even want to take my phone. I want to record. Okay. They say, I'll always hold your hand.
You remember 12 years ago, is it?
Yeah, but it's actually very real. Like my friend, she has a boy, primary 2 or primary 3. And even now, like they send him to school, right? he don't want to hold their hand. I've seen him grow up, right? And I feel for the mother, no, like I feel sad. So it's like, oh my goodness, when my boys are going to be that age, right? Wow, that's it, man. I'm going to lose it. I'm really going to lose it.
But you're prepared lah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to prep myself, but you'll never be prepped enough.
When I was still very young, right, like primary 1, primary 2, my mom bring me to school. She will have a habit, ask me to kiss her before I say bye-bye lah. Then after that, there was a point of time, right, like I'm malu already. I go school, my one boys' school,
Wait,
somehow.
how kilometers
away then you
The malu part, I need to know.
Primary 2.
Oh,
See about that.
I
Very
see,
well
3 more years.
Then after that, every time she say, kiss mommy, I will come out with excuse. After like 1-2 weeks of it, right, she just flip. She just say, all the excuse you say, right, it's still going to take more time than you just give me a kiss. Then from then on, I kiss but very unwilling kiss.
Yeah.
I think when you're young, right, you don't understand how you feel. Then as you grow older, you start to feel for your parents lah. I think most guys will go through this. Most guys, especially if you are like the you know last time primary school got the leader, like you want school, then suddenly you must I love you, mommy. Wow, very malu.
The phone
difficult for guys.
Yeah, I don't feel
Me with my mother last time, it was also very difficult because we didn't just grow up in an environment where we are very comfortable to say I love you. In her later years, like when I tried to express it, I also
difficult, right?
yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So I attribute it to the fact that we didn't have that kind of environment when I was growing up. I did manage to say, but not much response. Because I think she's just not used to it.
I think basically, if we ask anybody here to now take out their phone, call their mom and say I love you, she can. The rest of us really
It'll be hard.
Yeah.
Will you say your parenting style stems from how you were brought up by your parents, and then you took the good from that and you learn from the bad?
I would say certain things that work, certain things that I didn't really like. But there's no right way to do parenting. It really depends on a child, depends on your personality or your style. So we just learn lah, just have to adapt. And technology is really the root of, I don't want to say evil, but it's really...
Got good and bad lah.
Yeah.
It's how you use it.
For a parent, that's my biggest worry. My boys were to discover like the world of technology and like the internet.
Or TikTok or what, right?
Have you let them use like
Sorry?
technology yet? No yet.
Yeah, they do.
Like iPad?
But I limit lah. Anything that requires them to converse or like have a engagement, then no.
They can watch YouTube, but
Oh,
not
they
TikTok.
can watch YouTube Kids. Yeah. So there's a kids version.
Okay.
So it really depends on like what is that time, because all these are not available last time, but now it is. So we have to really adapt and learn how to navigate this part of life.
I think most parents are scared that of TikTok and the social media is because sometimes I see on social media, right, the way people explain like to the kids that say like your mom cannot do this to you.
The work one.
Then they learn from that and then they try to apply it in their life. That's it.
That's true.
I tell you, because there's one TikTok I watch, right? Then like this kid tell another kid, say like, your parents cannot beat you, it's against the law. And then like the guy tried to do it in his household, but his household was Asian lah, so he just got his ass beat.
Next time, I think like the new generation will have another new set of problems. For the last story, is from Bubbles. Okay, dear mom, I love you, but our relationship feels suffocating. When I was younger, I felt really insecure about my nose. My sisters had nice high bridge nose, but I didn't have. There was once in school, my classmate called me nicknames like pancake in a very demeaning tone, even when they know I'm insecure of my nose. I went back home feeling very upset that day, and because back then I was very close with my mom, so I ran to her and told her I wanted to do plastic surgery on my nose. She just brushed it off and told me not to do anything with my face. I felt that as the youngest in the family, my mom was extra controlling over me. She let my sisters go out late, do whatever they want, but it was always no when it comes to me. This led to a strain in our relationship, and now I feel closer to my dad because at least he listens to me and supports me. I love you, mom. I just wish you were less controlling and more supportive. Now you are the youngest of your family also, right? So do you have this type of, you feel like you were treated differently from your...
I was the princess.
The youngest is typically the princess one, right?
Oldest carry the most responsibility.
Yeah.
The middle doesn't exist.
Neglected.
I'm middle.
And the youngest receive everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And plus, my age gap between me and my sister, who's the second child, 10 years.
That's right.
So by when I was born, she's 10 years. She's pretty much independent, like as in can do things on her own.
Yeah.
So a lot of attention not on her will be on me.
Right.
Yeah, so
The baby of the family.
What about your second eldest?
my family dynamics is a bit different. Ethan is at this age where you cannot give too much attention, but still must show some love.
Right.
Because he's an adult,
Adult,
right?
yeah.
So I cannot treat him like a child. So must, different ways. So there's no like middle child in a way. Like it's very different way to talk to him.
The approach is different.
Yes, correct. So I don't worry about like Liam having the middle child syndrome because just 2 children, like an adult.
Yeah.
So it's very different.
Let's say your kids want to have plastic surgery one day. What's your take on that?
Do
Do
lah.
lah.
Yeah, do
You
lah.
happy you do lah.
Won't you be hurt or something? Example for me, let's say my child born already, then like his eyes as small as mine. Example lah.
Okay.
Then he say, "Daddy, your eyes small. Can I do?" Then I'll be like, "Wow, the eyes
I
is
ugly
small." You say I ugly You know that kind of feeling.
Plastic surgery is very common these days.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it has to be of the right age. Don't tell me like 15 years old want to do plastic surgery, then of course I'll say no.
Haven't developed finish.
Yeah, exactly. And probably not mature or old enough to know because it's for life in a way. It's very hard to reverse it,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So he's not at the age to make that kind of decision.
Okay.
Yeah, but if he say like I don't know 25 and he say, oh, mommy, I want to go and like zeng my eyes, then okay lah, then go and zeng lor. But I'll ask him like why, what's the thought process? Like what do you not like about your eyes? I just want to understand. Yeah, but if he wants to do it, I'm all for it.
So it's not more for like, hey, you can't do it, but why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Tattoos? Okay.
Have you seen my husband's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is not an issue,
Yeah. How to say no? I cannot say no.
If 12 years old, suddenly he come back with one whole dragon here.
12 no lah, cannot lah. But older lah.
Okay.
Older is
I got my first tattoo at 14 though.
regret your first
I super regret lah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I would advise my future kids to only have tattoo after 21.
Okay. It's not a legal age though. I think 18 you can have already.
No, but I feel like 21 you have a clearer mind what you want to do.
But I have a lot of friends in secondary school where they get tattoos without their parents' knowledge. My friend managed to hide his tattoo for 4 years.
Damn.
Before they
their
found.
parents, yeah. He had a koi fish on his thigh.
Or a big one lah.
Yeah, big one.
Then how he hide?
Every day he wear long pants at home. Then the mother questioned him, like, not hot ah? He said, no, I'm very comfortable. For 4 years, after O-level, go poly, then he tell them.
He reveal
Yeah,
lah.
he reveal.
Then he kena
but
cut.
he say it's poly get on. But actually, second one he have
You
already.
expose them. 我的儿子好像有这个 conflict.
So every day when he comes school from sec 1, right, his shorts is very long one. Because he also cannot kena caught. Yeah.
Or in school also lah.
Yeah. I think most parents worry about this kind of
Yes.
things.
For
Naturally
sure,
lah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I got my first tattoo without my parents realizing also. She only found out when I started being very suspicious. I always lock the door, my room door, and then she's like, why? Last time she never locked the door, why suddenly she locked the door? Then she go ask my sister. Then my sister say,
I have a similar story. So last time my mom was on Facebook as a friend, right? Then I posted this picture of a girl. Her back view is a full back tattoo, just like a Pinterest thing lah. So I posted. Then my mom got very worried. So she came to my room. She knocked my door. Jayne, nah, we speak in Chinese. I was like, what happened? Then she like, hey, come here. So I went to her room. I was like, what did I do this time? So I went in, I sat down. She took out her phone. Then she say, 这个是你啊, this one is you ah. Then I like, cause I want to get a tattoo ma. Then I think, should I say yes? Should I say no? Like, should I set the scene up? Then I was like, okay lah, no lah. And then I said, oh no. I said, look like me man. Then she's like, oh no lah. I thought you get full back tattoo. Then I said, oh okay. You want? So I reversed it.
You test water.
Yeah,
You test water.
You want? Then she, actually I got think about it. Then wow, 来了 my chance. Then after that we really bonded over that. So like I said, hey, so what tattoo you want to get? But it was very funny because like she thought it was me. I'm like, mommy, this totally don't look like me. Like I don't understand. I had short hair, this girl got long hair.
But I think at least your mom cool enough to have this conversation.
Yeah, but I think she was also very worried. Was I in good company back company? Because it was a very hyung tattoo.
That time like Yakuza fullback.
Yeah, so she was, I think, quite worried. That's why she, hey, come here. I was like, oh, jialat.
So how do you strike a balance between like knowing when they can make their own decision or you are still trying to protect them, you know? Let's say next time in the future, your son want to get tattoo, but maybe he's not that kind of age yet lah.
I would share with him like my regret. Like I don't have a tattoo that I regret, and I probably won't laser because it's just very big. But I'll also share my point of view. I mean, I'll be very honest. I cannot be like, oh, I'm the perfect parent. You know, I'm not a perfect person. So I'll probably share like, okay, maybe I regret because like, you know, I got it at a very young age. I really wish I didn't get this. But with regrets, you also learn. So I'll tell him, okay, maybe what I've learned with this experience And if he decides that he can live with this experience, then okay lah, but maybe not now. You're not of age yet. When you're older and of age, you want to do what? Go and do. But I just let you know what mommy went through, what daddy went through. You know, it's
Scare
up to
him
you.
lah. Say very pain. It's super pain. Just scare him lah.
Wait,
pain
do
also
you
will
believe in
still
that
do.
kind of parenting style?
I don't know
But
lah.
I feel
but
like-
it will be effective for me lah.
As in, I feel last time my parents sure lied to me about something. Then
Correct.
I like super scared. Then
Yeah,
I grew
correct.
up, then I realized actually they lied to me.
My parents, when I was very young, right, tell me drugs, I eat it, I will die. Like immediately into my mouth, I
think
will die.
I also got hit before.
Obviously, I grew up, I realized it wasn't like that lah. I'm very averse against drugs
Yeah,
ma,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
didn't help lah.
Yeah.
So I guess see the context lah.
Use fear, right?
Have you tried that before? It looks like she got tried before.
Actually, all the time.
But it
It
works.
works.
It works.
Yeah, but I think it will come to an age where it will not work anymore.
Yeah,
So you
of course
cannot
lah.
keep using it.
Yeah.
You gotta know when to tarik.
Last time my parents scared me, say like if I don't eat my vegetable, I cannot poop properly.
Okay.
Which is true.
Which is
That's
true, but
It's
it's to the point where I like thought like if I don't eat for like a day, that kind, that's it. I cannot shit forever already. that kind of fear, you know.
But the scare
Yeah,
technique,
yeah.
I don't know if it works for girls or not. Because I know they always say, you together with this guy, the room closed, you pregnant, your life is over.
My one is she'll just say you don't want finish your food, later uncle can't catch you.
Okay, like the
Yeah,
it's like the you never finish the rice, then your face will have a lot of pimples.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends around my age, right, their kids are starting to hit like this age, right, when they start asking about sex and all that. How are you going to talk about this topic today?
Last time is they say your baby come from the dustbin, just pick up.
Yeah, they always, and that's why I grew up believing is
捡回来的。
yeah, 捡回来的。
I mean, they never ask about that in particular, but they do ask like where they come from.
Oh,
So I
dustbin.
said, oh, mommy and daddy made you with love.
But how?
Yeah, so they're like,
What is this love?
yeah, Liam is like, how? Mommy and daddy love each other very much, so we got together, and then you just born out of our love, lor.
Then later your
we-
son say, Mommy, I also love you, let's have a child. What? How you going to answer?
So far, he hasn't said that yet. So far, we haven't gone to that stage. He only said he want to marry me. He never say he want to have a baby.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's quite common.
But there was another time he said something very funny. He said something like, how come some women, pregnant women, why their tummy so big? I said, oh, there's a baby inside. Then Liam gave a very horrified face. He said, what? Then I was like, yeah, there's a baby inside because like the mommy and daddy love each other, so the mommy is carrying the baby until it's ready to come out. Then he's like, you mean the mommy eat the baby? I lost it.
How to answer?
Yeah, then I'm like, I was thinking how to answer. Then he started to link everything. He's like, Mom, you ate me? I was like, oh my god, this is getting nowhere. Then I said, I just repeat lah, like mommy and daddy made you with love. Then he's like, okay. Then so far it has stopped there.
But you know that
it
question
will
will come back again, right? In another form.
it will come back.
It does sound like your kids always ask you. I wonder what's your husband's response to all this.
So he listened to me, then he just repeat lor.
Also, he also don't
I thought
want to.
Bernard would joke one.
Yeah, I thought he would
brush
joke
it off
about
as a
it,
joke.
He will say very stupid things lah, like yeah, like pick you from rubbish bin,
okay.
like found you on the roadside, a bird send you to my house, like the stock. It's something that's very difficult to talk, especially when they're so young. Yeah, they don't really understand. Marriage alone, they don't understand already. So they ask things like, how come you and daddy are always together?
Still too young.
So we just say like, mommy and daddy are best friends. We love each other a lot, so
Right.
we decide to be together forever. So in their mind, right, then that's how they decided they want to marry me lah.
Right.
I was like, oh, love
so
very
cute.
much. Okay, be together for okay, marry. So that's their
Okay, that's the
very simple
Right.
thought process. Yeah.
last question.
还有什么？
I'm curious. Have they experienced any death in the family, like grandparents
Yeah.
or maybe say pets?
Yes.
How do you all explain the
Wow,
concept?
it was very difficult.
The concept, I imagine, is damn hard to explain.
Yeah.
It is. My mom passed away about 4 years ago. When she passed, Liam was 2+ lah. So he knows her. He remembers
Interacted with her,
Yes. So he's very fond of her because when last time I was working, she would always take care of him. When she passed, right, I didn't know how to tell him. The first thing I said to him was, Papa is not here anymore. Papa's not home. He asked me, where did Papa go? So I was like, wow, Jala, don't have answer. So at that point, I mean, I was still grieving, so I didn't know how to respond. So I said, Papa went for holiday. He's like, oh, where did she go? Then I'm like, wow, don't answer leh. But Vernon was with me lah. Then Vernon was like, oh, Papa went to paradise. This place called heaven. Then my son was like, sounds fun. I said, I want to go heaven too.
Typical answer. Typical correct answer.
In my grieving moment, I burst out laughing lah. Like it was quite fun. He kept asking about, where's this heaven, this elusive heaven, right? And he keeps wanting to go. So we would visit her on like her birthday or like, death anniversary. So the very first time I brought him to see the niche, right? So he really thought he was going to see a physical form of my mom.
Right.
But then he was very disappointed. He's like, why is she in a box?
Right.
So I said, Papa's inside. Then he's like, oh, okay. Then he said, so where is she? And oh, she's in heaven. Then he's like, but mommy, you keep saying she's in heaven. Where is this heaven? So heaven is a place you go when you die. Then he's like, oh, what's die? Oh, then I'm like, wow.
That's a hard question,
Yeah, so we were like saying, okay, so there's a period of time that we are here on the earth to do something good. The time will finish up, will run out. So when it runs out, we will go to heaven if we are good people. Trying to wrap his little head around
the
this.
concept is
Yeah,
hard
it's
to-
very big. A concept for them to
Yeah.
understand. So I tried to break it down. So he's like, everybody will die. So I said, yes, everybody will die. All pets, living things, everybody will die. Then he's like, oh, okay. Then he's like, so that means I will never see Papa again. Wow, it broke me.
Oh, I will imagine that.
Yeah,
It's
so
hard to hear.
it's very hard to be like very proper and have a straight face explaining all this to a 5-year-old who doesn't really understand what it
And
is.
it's your mom also, leh. You
Yeah,
also
yeah.
grieving about that.
I said, yes, we will never see Papa, but we will see Papa next time in heaven. Then he's like, oh, so when will that be? And I said, oh, when you're very old, you'll find her in heaven again. So now he understands, but I think he doesn't understand
The true magnitude
the feeling.
of death, lah.
When she was cremated and Mandai, right? I had this feeling I wanted to bring my boys. Not my baby lah. That time Naya was very young, like less than 1 year old. So I wanted to bring Liam, but I don't know if he can understand. That's the thing. So I didn't bring him, but actually I do regret not bringing him.
I suppose you will be crying there, then when your kid seeing you cry, that is also hard
For him to understand.
Yeah.
Why are you crying?
Yeah. There are a lot of things that went through my mind during that period of time. So I do regret because it could have been the last time that he would see her in a way. Then again, I think back, I also don't think he'll be able to understand like what is going on. If he asks like who is inside the box, and if Papa's inside the box, and then he sees like the fire.
Wow, that could be quite
Yeah,
traumatizing.
I think it will be quite traumatizing to a
Yeah, yeah,
2-year-old. So at that point, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I do wish that he had seen more of her when she passed to understand like the death.
That's always a very difficult topic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it is
you
like it is.
decided to end the episode with something so heavy,
No, but
something so solemn.
isn't that important?
It's
Because I'm very sure a lot of parents out there, right, don't know how to teach this concept of that, and it's good to listen from a lot of people's view. I don't understand the concept of death until quite late in life.
Yeah, same.
Different upbringing, different religion, all got different explanation. So as a kid, I will imagine that you're hearing all these different things. How do you grasp this concept?
Soon your boys will, I don't want mommy to die.
Yeah, so they said that to me.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say I want mommy to be mommy forever. Like they want me to be in this state.
Then you mommy fight yourself next time. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, so like I want mommy to be mommy forever. I don't want mommy to die. So one day my youngest, he really came and hugged me and cried. Mama, I don't want you to die. Then I'm like, I'm not dying. Like, what's going on?
No, I think he come to the realization.
I think when suddenly he realized what is it.
Yeah.
It's quite sad to see that, but it's good because they understand like how precious life is.
So what is the one takeaway that we have? What did we learn from this episode?
Going into being a future parent myself, like I would want to be a parent in the future. I would say that what I learned is that nothing on earth can prepare you to be a parent.
Oh,
Really,
yeah.
nothing. Like no
Okay.
matter how many.
This is she agree.
Exactly. No matter how many podcasts you listen to,
How many books you read?
how many books
Yeah.
you read, no matter how many TikTokers, influencers you follow, nothing can prepare you
Okay, that's
to
true,
be
that's
a
true.
parent. And especially
true.
a mother, because I cannot be a mother and I'll never understand a mother's pain.
Yeah.
But what I can do is just support my
Yeah.
my wife in the future when she have our kids. Yeah, I think that's one thing that I learned. That's my biggest takeaway. And also another thing is don't regret. If you want to
Don't
mend that relationship with your mother, just go ahead and do it.
I think one of my takeaways is also that, like, mend your relationship with your parents. Doesn't have to be your mother, can be your mother or father, anyone. Then the other takeaway I have actually, now the generation versus last time generation, mothers very different. Like how they treat their kids also very different.
Okay, my takeaway is I think a mother have the harder job than father.
Confirm.
Because the fathers can still escape at work, relax a bit, tell you OT but actually drinking with friends. Right? They still
That's a bad dad lah.
no, but they still got this out breaks.
Don't expose them.
Yeah, but as a mom, I think it's a full-time 24/7
And it's,
non-stop worrying.
unpaid. Unpaid.
Unpaid. And all the way until they damn old, they still thinking of
Yes,
their kid.
correct.
Is a hard thing. Treasure your family, treasure your mother even more. Love your mom. and don't be afraid to show your mom that you love her. I think you see yesterday her child tell her that mommy I love you very much. Wow, it make her day already.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. It's just words.
I mean, this is not really new, but I like that you reinforce that parents, they show love in a different like form of language, like can be actions. In this generation, we are so used to words of affirmation. Oh, you know, saying oh, you're doing great, but like our parents, they didn't grow up in that time. So I really sort of like reminded me that I should be a bit more understanding, especially towards my dad. Like he may not show love in that way, but he does small things like cook soup. So we should be a bit more forgiving, lah.
So treasure all the good morning message, all the fruits, all the puking that you don't like to eat. I think one day when it stops, then you will realize how much you miss them.
Don't regret them. And as always, Overkill would like to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day.
And thank you, Jayne, for coming to our show.
Thanks for having me.
You can follow her on her socials and don't forget to follow us on our socials so you can click here for more, click here to what, and cut to the bloopers.
Are you the oldest child?
No, I'm the youngest.
Oh, you're the youngest.
Yes. So
Where's this coming from?
Upstairs they're having renovation. I thought
you know
we say something wrong.
Yeah.
Then they like someone like,